My name is Ferdinand Lassalle. I was born Ferdinand Johann Gottlieb Lassalle in Breslau, Prussia in 1825 into a prosperous Jewish family. Although I devoted my life to fighting for the rights of workers, I would discover that one of my fiercest opponents was not an aristocrat or an industrialist. It was Karl Marx himself. I believed workers should organize politically, demand universal suffrage, and use democratic institutions to improve society. Marx insisted that only a revolutionary overthrow of capitalism could bring true liberation. Our political disagreement quickly became intensely personal. Karl Marx did not simply criticize my ideas. In his private correspondence with Friedrich Engels, he launched vicious attacks against me that were filled with ethnic stereotypes and anti-Semitic language. After meeting me in 1862, Marx wrote to Engels that I was, in his words, the Jewish nigger Lassalle. He went on to speculate that I must have descended from black Africans through the Israelites' supposed association with Egypt, a racist fantasy that combined anti-Semitic and anti-black stereotypes into a single insult. Marx mocked my dark complexion, my thick curly hair, and my facial features, suggesting they proved an inferior racial ancestry. Rather than debating my arguments, he reduced me to racist caricatures. These were not isolated remarks. Throughout his correspondence, Marx repeatedly referred to me simply as the Jew Lassalle, as though my Jewish identity explained my personality, my ambitions, or my politics. He portrayed me as vain, manipulative, theatrical, greedy, and driven by personal ambition, stereotypes that had been attached to Jews in Europe for centuries. Marx himself had been born into a family of Jewish ancestry. His grandfather had been a rabbi. His father converted to Lutheranism to escape the legal restrictions imposed on Jews in Prussia. Marx frequently adopted the common anti-Jewish rhetoric of 19th century Europe in his writings. Years earlier, in his famous essay On the Jewish Question, Marx argued that Judaism had become associated with commerce and money, declaring that money is the god of the Jews. He did not criticize me only as a political rival. He attacked my race, he attacked my ancestry, he attacked my Jewish identity. He argued that freeing society from capitalism would naturally mean freeing humanity from Judaism. Our political dispute reflected two competing visions of socialism. Marx believed history would inevitably produce violent revolution. My life ended unexpectedly in 1864 after a duel arising from a failed romance. I was only 39 years old. Marx outlived me by nearly 20 years, and his private letters he left behind reveal a side of his character, one capable of extraordinary personal bitterness, racial prejudice, and anti-Semitic invective toward a fellow socialist who happened to be Jewish. The man celebrated for fighting oppression could himself employ the language of racial hatred. The champion of equality could mock another man because of his ancestry. I was Ferdinand Lassalle, a Jew, a socialist, a reformer, and for Karl Marx, I became more than a political rival. I became the target of his vicious anti-Semitic attacks and racial insults.